All right. Hello, everybody. This is my friend Zalia.
Hi!
And you don't see me because I'm holding the iPhone, but this is Alex, and we just got done watching The Last Jedi.
Yay!
So
I somehow managed to have remained spoiler-free for until I saw it. I'm pretty impressed.
Right? I feel like the fans are being, like, really good about it.
Everyone's been really good about it so far. Like, I did block it on Tumblr, so I don't know how Tumblr has been, but I haven't seen anything, so everyone must have at least been tagging it.
Yeah, like, Tumblr, the wretched hive of scum and villainy. Like, I don't Tumblr anymore.
You're probably better off that way.
I got to the point where, like, Tumblr, like, I couldn't use it without extensive Tumblr savioring, and I was just like, this is not worth it.
Tumblr is only functional by having a bunch of add-ons enabled. Mm-hmm. Like, it's terrible.
The sign of an excellent service.
Yes.
So, anyway, and despite the fact that a lot of people are being incredibly poopy about The Last Jedi, they're still not spoiling us, I guess. So...
Or we just follow the best people.
I think that's true, because, like, everyone's been like, oh my god, people are saying shitty things about The Last Jedi, and I'm like, who? I haven't seen anything, so apparently... Well, I mean, Max... I think... No, it was Mike Underwood was basically saying, like, he looked at one of the anti-Last Jedi tags, and he was like, this is basically, like, a neo-Nazi recruitment tool at this point. Yeah, you know, space fascists. It's great.
Oh no, women and people who aren't white men are doing things. How dare they? This is oppression.
It's totally oppression. Kylo Ren was robbed.
I hope the rolling of my eyes is coming across okay on the film there. That was major eye rolling.
Yeah, I think I could, like, the body language, I could tell. So, I'm getting that you liked it.
I did enjoy it. It was lots of fun. There are some really great set pieces, and I want one of those foxes.
Oh yeah, the crystal foxes.
Yes.
See, I don't know if I want one of those more or if I want a porg.
The porgs are really cute, but no, I just like the crystal foxes. Give me one of those as a stuffed toy, or possibly a small robot.
That would be neat, and if it was a robot, it could, like, make the noise when it moved. Because I've seen porgs, and apparently there are actually, like, stuffed animal porgs. They're just, like, all sold out. But I don't know, like, I've never seen any of the foxes for sale yet. And I've been to the Disney store, which is like...
This is a shame, they're super cute.
They were so cute! They were so cute!
I mean, for a porg, you could just get a puffin and put a jetpack on it.
See? They are space puffins. and I'm gonna note that, like, Zalia totally called it that they were space puffins before we even watched the movie. She was like, oh, this is totally what's going on. There must have been puffins all over that island, and they had to, like, CGI
Well, I
over
think
them
I'd heard that there were a lot of puffins on the island they filmed in, because I think it's an island, so I was like... And as soon as the porg came on, I'm like, that looks suspiciously puffin-shaped.
just cuter and with those big eyes,
yes.
So it could make eyes at Chewbacca.
Yes.
Please don't eat my dad. Which is good, because I think we needed, like, some comedy at that moment.
Chewbacca being guilt-tripped by a small furry animal.
Right? And now the ship is just fucking infested with them. Oh my god. So, I have to ask, because how many times did you cry?
I actually didn't cry.
You have no soul.
I have been told this before about various fandoms. I did cry a lot during Rogue One, though.
Huh. Like, when did you start crying in Rogue One?
I think I cried for the entire last 30 minutes of the film.
Okay, yeah, that's basically what I did, too. Is, like, about the point where you're like, oh my god, they're gonna, like, you know, Das Both this and everyone is about to die. I was like...
Yeah.
And then Bodhi and...
And then Leia appears, and it's... especially because I saw it, like, a couple of days after Carrie Fisher died.
Oh my god.
And so it was just like, no, the tears are coming again.
Oh man, see, like, I feel my accomplishment at this phase was I did not cry as many times. Like, I've developed some scar tissue, so I'm not as messed up, but, like, I still got all teared up when Leia gets blown out of the bridge with everyone, and then she saves herself. But I mean, like, the first time I was just freaking out, because I was just like, I'm not ready to say goodbye to her.
I was like, no, she can't die. I refuse. We need to mutiny.
Mm-hmm. Like, fuck this. And I mean, then she saves herself. It's just, oh god, I don't know what they're gonna do for the next movie.
Yeah.
But
I'm so glad they didn't kill her off, though.
Oh.
I don't think I could have taken seeing that.
No. Well, and then, like, I still feel, I don't know if it was in the original script or if they did anything particular, but toward the end when Luke shows up and he tells her no one is ever really gone, I was just like,
No.
Why? So, like, since you have no soul and didn't cry as much as I did, but we're still friends, so it's fine. So, like, what did you think of the decision to kill off Luke? Because I still have, like...
I do have reservations. I don't know if it was really necessary.
Right?
Because it just felt like... I can see why they did it. It was obviously a huge amount of exertion for him, but at the same time, it just felt like... oh shit, we need one few less characters next movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, well, we're gonna kill off one of the original trio in every movie, which if they fucking kill off Leia...
Yeah, unless they bring him back as a Force ghost, I could kind of take that.
I mean, I'm hoping that's what they're gonna do, like with the whole him being like, see you around, kid.
And I think that. Especially since they brought back Yoda, it seems like, hey, we've brought this back. Remember that this is a thing that can happen. And also because Luke vanished like Obi-Wan did in A New Hope, rather than dying. Like, we didn't see a body.
True, and that's like Obi-Wan vanished like that, and Yoda did too when Yoda died. So, and I mean, apparently, you know, we're not seeing Obi-Wan again for obvious reasons, but like, yeah, Yoda shows up and he's just like, and now I'm gonna call some lightning down on, because Luke, you need to grow a set and the tree needs to go. So, did you catch the thing with the Jedi books?
What was it?
So, and I was really watching for it this time. So when Rey and Chewbacca are leaving...
They're on the ship, aren't they?
So you see Rey close the drawer, and then later when everybody's back on the Millennium Falcon, you see Finn open the drawer because he's looking for a blanket, and there are all the books.
I was wondering if that was them, and Yoda's playing a trick on Luke.
Oh, Yoda is such a little shit in this movie.
I feel like also it kind of suggests that Yoda's learned a bit more because he really fucked up in the prequels. Yeah, he's like, yeah, we fucked up with Anakin, don't make the same mistakes. I've learned that sticking solely to old books and the old dogma of the Jedi does not work.
Well, and that, I mean, I felt like that point where he was just like, yeah, you need to pass on your mastery and your strengths, but you also need to pass on your weaknesses and your failures, because that's the greatest teacher. And I was just like, thank you, because... You know, I don't know. When we were talking about it right after a lot of us had seen it, DW was kind of saying, you know, it's like Luke and Yoda sitting on a log talking about, like, I don't know, Buddhism or something. But that's how it feels. Like, he's just kind of being like, obviously this thing is holding you back and you need to let it go. Be like Elsa and let it go, Luke. I'm going to blow up the tree because you just cannot handle this, apparently.
So, but I also can't let you know that Rey's nicked the books.
Yeah, because I have a feeling at that point then Luke probably would have just like clenched up all over again, because he's just got so much Jedi baggage. But hopefully, like, since... I mean,
it's the thing with Luke, he never really finished training anyway.
No.
He was a baby Jedi.
Yeah, it's like... When is a Jedi gonna start? Then again, it's not like the Jedi were that fucking great when they had proper masters and all that, because hello, that's how we got Vader and stuff. I don't know. So, like, I'm sad about Luke, but, like, that whole thing, and I did notice, like, this time around, because I was looking for it, when he and Kylo Ren are having that fight, and you see Kylo Ren leaving red footprints, and Luke doesn't. And that's I was like, oh. Plus, he apparently dyed his beard and got a haircut. So, that should have been the other clue. And the wardrobe changed to be kind of like back sort of Return of the Jedi, all in black Luke.
I admit, when he first showed up, I was like, did we see him touch anything? Has he actually been dead this entire time?
He's just a ghost. I mean, it was kind of like, that's, especially when Kylo Ren, like, stabs him with the saber, I was like, oh my god, has he just been a ghost this whole time? And how did he die? Did Yoda just blow him up with the tree? Like, I don't know. But I mean, that I like. I'm kind of mad that then he properly dies, so he better fucking be back. Because it's like, stop killing the original
it's
characters.
Give me a Leia, Luke, and Han reunion as Force Ghosts in the...
Oh, that would be so cool.
In the next one.
Except Leia's not allowed to die, even if she's
No.
not played by Carrie Fisher somehow. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it, and I don't trust J.J. Abrams very much, to be honest. Because he's directing the next one. Yeah.
I trust him with Star Wars more than I do Star Trek.
Maybe that's like, I'm just not ready. I will just never forgive him for Into Darkness because that movie was such a
I didn't see it. Like, I started watching it on a plane once and gave up after like 10 minutes and went to sleep.
That is for the best. Because if you fell asleep in the first 10 minutes, you did not get to the part where it really starts getting aggravating. I think it's just mostly like with Into Darkness, Abrams spent so much time being like, it's not the Wrath of Khan, it's not the Wrath of Khan. And then you watch it and it's the fucking Wrath of Khan. But with Benedict Cumberbatch, who I'm just kind of like tired of him.
I'm so bored. He was like the most pointless part of Thor Ragnarok as well.
Right?
Like, the only reason that part was in was to give Doctor Strange a cameo.
Yeah, well, because I think they were like, remember Doctor Strange?
It's like, yeah, no, please care
Watch
about
his movie.
him. Please care about him.
Please
it's like,
care.
But we don't care about him.
No, I just, stop making me try to like him. I don't like him.
With his subpar Hugh Laurie accent. It's like you know, his Hugh Laurie did an American accent in House, and now Benedict Cumberbatch is doing a failed version of his accent in House.
Oh, he was trying to sound American, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's like, you know, that's the sad thing is when I still, like, I've watched Thor Ragnarok 3 times, and I never realized that he was trying to sound American. So that's bad. Okay, so I have to ask you, what was your favorite part of The Last Jedi?
Oh, that's tough. I really like them smashing up the casino.
Yes.
And like, hey, go for it. I loved Poe's character arc in it.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked I felt like they were throwing in some parallels between him and Kylo in it. You know, Poe has his moment where he smashes everything up, and he's so hot-headed throughout, and he's like, throw everything we have at them, and then you have Kylo doing the same thing, except Poe fucking learns his lesson.
Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't even think about that until you pointed
It's just
it out.
the bit where Poe goes in and he doesn't get what he wants, so he starts smashing things up, and it's so like Kylo Ren with he's smashing up his helmet. Mm-hmm. And in the first movie, he has the lightsaber tantrum.
Oh my god. Like, multiple ones.
Yeah.
Like, I lost track of how many things he destroyed in the first movie, because he just has no impulse control.
So, I liked that thing. Rose was great.
Rose is so good.
She's lovely.
She's just such a good.
I love that she just goes around tasing people.
Yes. MVP, Rose's taser.
I really like the general lady with the purple hair.
Admiral Holdo.
Yes, Admiral Holdo. She was great. They didn't do what I expected with her. Like, I was kind of like, is she meant to be a bad guy in disguise? Is she meant to be a traitor? And then she wasn't. She was just like, she knew what she was doing, which was great.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, when we did the Skiffy and Fanty podcast, we had like this massive cast argument about Holdo with, you know, people being like, well, why didn't she just fucking tell him the plan and da-da-da? But honestly, on the second watch through, kind of keeping in mind where it's going, what she does actually makes even more sense to me. Because it's like, yeah, the whole, like, Poe's whole arc is he's being a shithead who needs to pull his head out of his butt, and he just wants to, like, run in and blow up things and be a hero.
I think it's a really nice counterpoint to, you get so many movies with a military setting where it's, you have the hot-headed young thing going off and saving the day by being hot-headed and impetuous and suffering no consequences for it. Mm-hmm. Which, again, is, like, totally like what Kylo Ren does. He is impetuous and hot-headed and thinks he can do anything he wants without regard for anyone except himself.
Well, and he does get to, because
Yeah,
if anyone disagrees with him, he's just gonna fucking force choke Hux again, which is hilarious.
I think it was important. I feel like they're setting Poe up to be kind of the leader of the rebellion. In the next movie, that was the vibe I got, since he seems to also have been Leia's protege.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice to see him learn that lesson, that you sometimes have to look at the bigger picture. It's not just, especially if you're going to be a leader, it's not just, you can't just look at this one battle. You have to see every battle ahead.
Like, you got our bomber fleet killed, and yes, you took out a dreadnought, but now we don't have any bombers left. And I mean, like, just watching him interact with Holdo and with Leia, because you can tell he has, like, this super respect for Leia, because if nothing else, the background is she's the one who hired him into the Resistance. But, like, Holdo is just, you know, he even says, she's not what I expected, because it's, you know, Admiral Holdo from the Battle of Chiron Belt or something like that. And you can tell, like, because she's super feminine and has purple hair, which is really cool. I don't know why she has purple hair, but does.
She's great.
But she's very cool. But then, you know, Holdo keeps being like, I have dealt with people like you before, like hot-headed pilots. And so she's already kind of sick of that shit. But then you see, like, her and Leia when Poe gets stunned by Leia. And Holdo's actually like, I really like him. He's impetuous. But, you know, you can tell they both are like, he has potential, he just needs to, like, get over his shit. And so, like, this whole thing is her trying to teach him a lesson that he doesn't pick up. And I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, well, why didn't she just tell him, like, this is a whole plot where it's like, this issue is communication problems. But the real issue is that Poe doesn't want to hear what she's trying to tell him. And honestly, like, I truly believe, you know, because at some point he does kind of get what the plan is, at least part of it, with her fueling up the transports, and he fucking calls her a traitor and has a mutiny. Like, if she told him the plan, he would have been going after her the whole time. And so, yeah, he just, especially, it's like, if you're going to end up being a leader, Poe, you have to figure out how this works.
Yeah, he needs to stop trying to be a hero and start being a leader.
Exactly. Well, and it's like, I caught the line this time when they're talking, because somehow, like, the first time I watched it, I also somehow missed when Leia slapped Poe, which is just the greatest moment. But where Poe's like, there were all these heroes out there, and Leia's like, yeah, there were dead heroes and no leaders. Which I was like, holy shit, that is her just being like, you fucked up and you weren't even leading them. Which is just amazing. So basically, I love Holdo, and I'm on Team Holdo forever.
Yes.
And, like, did you also have kind of like a little anime flashback when she, you know, goes to hyperspace and cuts the big ship in half, and there's just... Oh.
And it goes black and white.
Yes.
Like, big sword moment.
Right? So it's like the Samurai Master cutting all the ships in half.
Gundam!
Yes! Oh my god, like a Gundam Wing flashback or something. Holy shit. And the last thing I wanted to grill you about, because I had to have my Holdo moment. So, Kylo Ren, what do you think?
What a dickhead. Okay.
Hard agree.
I am very, very glad that he is not getting a redemption arc.
Yes.
I was worried they were going there, because they did throw it in, and it would have just felt cheap.
Yeah.
Because he's not Darth Vader. Like, I was saying, Darth Vader doesn't actually get a redemption arc. He gets the chance to show that he could have gone a different way, and he only really gets to show that to Luke.
Yeah.
It's more about Luke getting this kind of personal closure.
Yeah.
Than it is about Darth Vader suddenly becoming a good person.
Yeah, because all he does is throw the Emperor down the minion killer, like...
And, I mean, with what happened in this one, I'm pretty sure Kylo Ren is a lost cause now, which is great.
You better
cannot...
fucking be, like...
Because,
I mean, Rey is literally like, hey, you killed Snoke, great, come with me. And he's like, no.
No, I'm gonna be in charge now.
Right? So good, yeah. I so agree.
And I think that was kind of an important lesson for Rey to learn as well.
Yes.
That not, you know, people aren't always good and bad, but sometimes people are assholes.
Yeah.
And you know, they have to, it's not up to her to save people all the time. if someone can't, in this case, if Kylo, there's a lot of choices people make.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, because I remember, like, when she's going back and forth with Luke, doesn't she even say, like, initially it's like, well, he made his decision, and then did you take that choice from him by threatening to kill him? And then when she really gets the truth, she's like, no, he failed you. So it's like, she's given him more, like, yet another chance. And I also felt like with the talk of Luke Skywalker is a legend and you redeemed Darth Vader and all that, she was trying to be like, if Luke can do it, I can totally do it. And I think she needed to learn that no, some people are just bad.
I also really love that Rey is not a Skywalker.
Yes.
Of any. That was such a relief, because it was they were obviously playing on it, like, and I was expecting, oh, you're my sister, or which would have made no freaking sense, since she's been hanging around Leia. Or you're my cousin or something, and I know there's been a lot of speculation, or is she Obi-Wan's granddaughter or daughter or something? God. And it's like, I really like that she is just a person. Mm-hmm. And she's not coming from this great tradition, she's not coming from this bloodline, she is just a normal person who has chosen to walk this path and be a good person. Right?
Because what it says is that anyone can do this. You don't have to have, like, some kind of destined bloodline. And, I mean, I was noticing, like, with The Force Awakens, I felt like they were teasing it. Like, no one ever comes out and really implies it, other than, oh, no one, what about your parents? But you'd think at the age Rey was at when she got abandoned, she knows who the fuck her parents were. Or, though a lot of people were like, maybe those weren't her real parents, because there's a lot of baby switching that goes on. But I felt it was more like, not even necessarily the story trying to tell us that, but it was just the fans working themselves up because, J.J. Abrams played his, oh, it's a mystery thing. And so then Rian Johnson was just like, no, she's a nobody from nowhere.
And, I mean, I think that also ties in well with the story, because you had, like, Anakin came from nowhere. And then originally
he became evil space Jesus.
Yeah.
And then son of evil space Jesus. Like, I'm glad we're not getting into grandson. Well, actually,
no, we are getting into grandson of evil space Jesus.
God, and he's such a turd.
So I do like that Rey is just Rey, and she has chosen to be a good person and to fight this fight.
Yeah, because she even goes into, like, the dark force hole and just... I mean, and it's...
I didn't quite get the dark force hole.
Yeah.
It was a bit, it was a bit baffling. I wasn't sure what they were getting at there, but...
I feel like it got a bit conceptual, but I think kind of on second viewing, because it reminded me a little bit of when Luke goes into the dark force hole on Yoda's planet and kind of gets that, like, he fights Darth Vader, but then the thing blows out and it's his face, and it's just a reflection of his own darkness. And so I think that this dark force hole was the same thing, where it was a reflection of Rey's own weakness back at her, and it was the first step to her being like, and then Kylo Ren actually, in one of his few services to humanity that doesn't involve chopping Snoke in half with a lightsaber, points that out to her, where he's like, your parents and the fact that you are still waiting for them and still obsessing with them is your weakness. And, his solution is destroy everything that's holding you back. Whereas I think it's less of a, you need to destroy the past, as opposed to you just need to let it go. And that was her sign, like, she thought she was going to get answers, and then her having to accept that there aren't any answers, or that there is an answer, but it's not one she likes, and she just has to accept it and move on. And so I think that was, like, her moment of, like, temptation. It started there, and then it ended with Kylo Ren being like, oh, well, you need to just destroy it and then start over, and everything will be fine. And she went, no, I'm not going to do that.
And I also noticed she looks so much happier when she's back on the Millennium Falcon doing spaceship things.
Yes.
She just looks like that's her place. And she loves it.
Mm-hmm. So I think she really kind of... I mean, everyone had such a good character arc in this. Like, Rey kind of figured out who she is, and And it's like she said, like, I need someone to show me my place in this. Mm-hmm. And she was trying to get Luke to do that. Instead, she figured it out for herself, I guess.
I like the... I feel like Finn was a bit underused, but I really hope he gets more in the next one, because I really liked his character arc of going from not exactly selfishness, but you can tell he's still very affected by being in the First Order, where all that matters is you.
Mm-hmm. And he's like me and Rey, basically.
Yeah. And now he's gone, it's like, no, he's found this family that he cares for enough, and it's like he will die for them, but it's also he doesn't have to die for them. It's not the First Order. He's allowed to live for people as well.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I feel like for all that we could have seen more of him, he still did have that very cool... And what sold it was his interactions with Benicio del Toro's character, DJ, where DJ's just like, oh yeah, they're all the same, you know, he pulled the everyone is equally bad, all sides are the same one, and Finn was like, no they aren't. You know, that when he has his moment where like, yeah, I'm scum, I'm rebel scum. Like, it was so beautiful. And also just, you know, even when DJ is walking away and Finn is like, you're wrong, and DJ's just like, maybe. Like that, I mean, that was really great. And then he goes from that to being like, I'm gonna throw myself into this cannon, like baby, you went a little too far the other direction. Especially when for once Poe is like, oh no, this isn't gonna work and we need to retreat, and you're like, no, I got this. And I was just like, oh my god, don't fucking kill Finn. It would be terrible.
And I really love Rose as well.
Yes. Well, and I feel like, you know, there were several lines in the movie that were like the money lines. But she had the perfect one where it was like, you know, we're going to win this not by fighting what we hate, but saving who we love. Like, that, like, she got the best line in the film, and I think Rose totally deserved it. All right, so do you have any other thoughts before we say goodbye?
I really enjoyed it, and we'll probably go and see it again at least once.
And guys, you have no idea, like, how much of a thing this is, because... For Zalia to get to the movie theater, it is a production, because it's it's like a bus trip, and then you walk.
It's like at least half an hour on the bus, and then another 20-minute walk to get to the cinema.
And it's a very confusing walk.
And it's not like the nicest part of town either.
You go past the stadium, it's interesting.
I don't drive, so I have to do this.
Well, and like, you know, I've now been to the theater with you twice, and I still am just like, I have no idea where the fuck I'm going in this town, and I'm just gonna follow you, and if you're gonna, like, lead me into an ambush, I'm done. Like, goodbye world. Like, I put my life in your hands because I trust you. Alright, so, if people want to find you on the internet, where should they look for you?
They can find me on Twitter at Zalia Chimera.
Alright. Thanks for talking with us. Bye.